Okay, so I guess I'm gonna do one more. I got asked a question. I'm sitting here at Fridays, having a drink, and I had a message sent to me. It said they basically wanted to know my feelings on Sick Week as a whole, just kind of start to finish from the view of a pit bitch, which pretty much what I was going there to do, and it was what I hired to do and what I got to do for a couple days. From my point of view on doing this, it started out amazingly well. They have it as probably one of the most well-tuned machines. Tom has done a fantastic job of hiring people to positions that do a great job of organization, structure, the tech, all that stuff. You get in there, there is 400 cars, or whatever there was. It was a lot, a damn lot. And they have to check everything to make sure the lights work, the turn signals work, the horn works, and everybody has their specific assignments. They actually did a deal where you could actually purchase with a donation of $100 to a charity that they've chosen to have a time slot to go in and get it done. Definitely worth doing that. Otherwise, you sat in line waiting to tech. So I don't know anything about that because we did the charity deal. But everybody was super nice, super kind. And we got through the tech, got that all done. Once you basically are through tech, you're locked down. You're not allowed to be at your trailer anymore. So everything that you wanted to have with you, I'm gonna eat while I'm doing this too. So. Everything you wanted to do had to be with you. And so that was kind of nice. We kind of parked, set up just like racing. The trailers are put in quarantine. Nobody can run to the trailers. Once you've been through tech, you're now in Sick Week. So we did testing, which in testing we went out and, promptly broke the rear end. Thing goes the best 60 foot it's ever going to go. Just pulverized the pinion pieces, parts. We drag it back to the trailer on Sunday. I guess we could till midnight. We had to. I misspoke myself earlier. Till midnight we had. Basically, we could still do stuff at the trailer. So we drug the car back to the trailer, got it up on the hoist, pulled the center section out. You guys saw, if you watch Steve's videos, which I highly recommend, they're much better than my crap. Tim does an amazing job with that. Pulled the rear end out, got the center section out, got it ready to put in, and we got that done like 10 o'clock, 10:30, we were done. New rear end was in it, we were ready to go racing on Monday. They call them up, they did a great job of prepping the track, everything was fantastic on Monday. We go out, made that pass, win a 74. All things were pretty good. We were comfortable with where we were at, and we ended up breaking a U-joint on that pass, but we didn't catch it till the following day. I guess we caught it that day. Changed it. And then we went on the drive. We did the drive. Really wasn't too bad, other than the fact that we got started so late. We started running into problems with gas stations being open. I think that's probably one of the biggest concerns I would have in the future. Is you definitely want to make sure you're on the road, because it just, gas stations became a problem, and we started having to pre-figure out where we were going to stop at gas stations so that they were open, so we could keep going. At one point, we drove 5 miles out of our way to get fuel because there wasn't going to be a gas station anywhere near where we were at. and we were going to run out of gas, or Kyle was going to run out of gas. We probably could have gone maybe to the next gas station, but Kyle was a little smaller gas tank, so he didn't have the distance. So get to Bradenton, and pull in there. Everything's cool. Everything's good there. Go out. We made a nice pass. It goes 667. We had found on the drive the night before. Steve's driving down the road, and he taps on my arm and points at the shifter, and he shifts it into second gear, and nothing changes. It's still in first gear. And then he clicks it into high gear, and then he pulls it back, and we have headsets and can talk to each other. And he says, "There's no second gear." And I go, "You rolled the second gear sprag." I'm going to guess that when we broke that rear end, that's what happened. And that's why I hit the rev limiter on the 674 passes, and he basically had to drive. He shifted into second gear, hit the rev limiter, and he basically banged it into third gear. So he unintentionally drove all the way through second gear, drove it through second gear, whatever. So everything went smoothly there. I honestly was happy with how everything went. We're going to go to KSR. Kevin's going to lend us a transmission. We're going to make the changes there. So we get out of there. We get to KSR. That's when we found the issues with the drive shaft being junk, and we're done. We drive up to Georgia Motorsports Park. I got to be honest with you, considering that track is probably one of the most hookinest, tire ripping, wheels standing, radial prepped, mother effing tracks that you've ever been to. I was pretty disappointed with the prep at that track. The track was bald. It just didn't have any bite. It didn't have any hook. It just was. I don't think it was prepped great. People were getting down and people were still running numbers, but it wasn't like anywhere else we went. Anywhere else we went was pretty friggin' incredible. Even today in the heat in Orlando, it might not have had the teeth that it could have had if it had overcast day and 10 degrees cooler, but it still had some heat, or still had some bite. And there was guys getting on the track and setting their week-long best, which they should be. They're turning the wick up on the last day. They don't have to do the drive anymore, but they were getting them to bite. So we did that. Then we went to Gainesville. Gainesville was great. My only disappointment in Gainesville was through the first part of the week, the sick ward, the people of the sick ward were great, and I think the sick ward's a great thing to do. If you're not going to race, definitely do the sick ward. I was kind of bummed. I went over to get a cup of coffee like I had done every other morning, and they said, the lady told me that it was a private party and it was for sick ward people only, and I was kind of taken back by that because I had literally gotten coffee from them every day. I got a cup of coffee, and I gave them a $5 donation towards their cause. Pretty expensive cup of coffee for just a standard cup of coffee to be turned away as one of the racers crew, which kind of caught me off guard. Sort of surprised me. I mean, I understand that the sick ward gets some special treatment because they're paying extra for it, but the racers are paying extra too. And I was a little bit surprised I couldn't get a cup of coffee, so I went over to the track and gave them $5 for a cup of coffee. So that was slightly disappointing, and then I ended up having to have track food when they had really good food over on the sick ward, but it was for sick ward people only, and I once again didn't have the armband for sick ward, so I wasn't able to go get barbecue. That's fine. I'm not terribly sore over it, but it was kind of a bummer deal. Other than that, it really went well. Today was fantastic. The track was open. They did a great job. It ran smoothly. I know I'm running my mouth a lot, but I'm just trying to be thorough. I know that's why I was kind of asked to explain how everything went and how it worked, and it was really well run, and everybody was super nice that worked at the event. Tom put together a hell of a staff, a hell of an organization. It runs very smoothly, and he should be proud of that. And that's kind of my perspective as the story from the pit bitch. it's disappointing that we didn't get to race more days. I was starting to get a handle and swing of what I was supposed to be doing every day, and just as I'm getting the swing of it, we end up broken beyond repair. So that's kind of the gist of it. If you have any other questions, feel free to send me a message. I can try to answer it and maybe make it shorter than the 10 minutes I just spent blabbering my mouth off. So if you made it through this whole thing, you're a better person than I am. I'm not sure I would have. But maybe there was something in it that you found interesting. Talk to y'all later. Bye.